I weren't spying on you, Kris, but I was having a good nosy on your Facebook page and spotted your head on the Underground in London.
I know.
Yeah.
That was really crazy.
So welcome to the show, the brilliant Kris James. Mate, it's good to get you in.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me on.
That's all right. The first question is, how the hell do you get your hair like that?
Loads of, my mother would call it lacquer, but hairspray, lots of hairspray, and it's kind of, it takes ages, it really does, but it's worth it at the end of the day. It stays up all day as well.
Yeah, well, that's always a good thing. But I think, right, that you're either born with a genes that gives your hair like that good.
Yeah.
Because if I tried to do that, I'd look like Jedward.
Not a good look.
Not a great look at all. So how's your day been so far? Busy,
really
I can
good.
imagine.
Really good, yeah. I mean, this is the first week of touring for radio, so it's been amazing. And whilst I've been on tour, the song's been charting, so I'm quite impressed that from a release a week ago, it went into the top 40 yesterday. Unfortunately, it fell out today, but, it's up and down every day, but I'm quite shocked that it even made the top 40 because my band previously didn't even have that. So, yeah, thanks for listening and streaming and buying it because it's really jumping up and down, which is great to see.
We'll come on to the people that don't necessarily know too much about you in a second. First of all, I'm curious, obviously you were in a band before.
I was, yeah.
Have your fans from being in a band followed you over to you now being single?
Yeah, and that's great because there's some outside your station.
In the rain.
I know, it's so sad, isn't it? I'll have to get some Kris James umbrellas, to give them when they're standing, bless them. But I was in a band for 7 years and that sadly split last August. And so basically I've just carried on. I luckily got re-signed by the same label, which was cool. Maybe because I owed them so much money, they're trying to recoup.
Maybe.
But they were very kind to re-sign me. So... and I'm very lucky that all the fans I've come across, because the other two guys aren't doing anything. So it's kind of like I was lucky that they didn't do anything because now everyone's just come to me, which is great.
Were you really nervous? Well, obviously, going from that band setup to them being a solo artist. Because I can imagine you put so much pressure on yourself to do well.
Absolutely.
So I can imagine you were really nervous as well.
Well, I was the lead singer in the band in the first place, but you've still got a support there of two other guys, The only nervous time I've really had, to be more exciting, was my first solo gig last Thursday in London. Because it was kind of like publishing, recording, all the glitterati of London. And it's like, well, this is the first time I've performed on my own in 7 years. So it was, I don't really get nervous at gigs. I get excited nervous, but just can't wait to get on and chat to people and stuff. But I was proper nervous, like thinking, oh my goodness, what if they hate it? Or what if I can't hit that note? It's so many things go through your mind, when you're doing live shows.
I watched the video for the single this morning, and I watched it last night as well. But the dog kept barking, so I watched it this morning.
That's not good.
No, it's good. No, she likes that. I can play Atomic Kitten and she hates it. I play you and she loves it. So what's that tell you?
That's amazing. Oh, that's good.
I love the video. I think it's absolutely brilliant. But it also, you've got a sound where you're obviously staying to your roots and what you believe in as well. But it's radio friendly as well. I think it's a song that everybody can get hold of and enjoy.
Absolutely, and it's kind of getting different. I'm getting different reactions. So some people will be like, yeah, I've got it blasting in the car and it's a really high, great song. But then other friends are a bit like, well, this is really emotional, I don't know whether to cry or it's quite, because it is kind of a bittersweet, end of a relationship, and knowing that, when you come out of that, you're going to be fine. I mean, the next one comes along pretty soon anyway, and time's a great healer. But yeah, it's getting a mixed reaction, but all positive, which is great.
So I've read a little bit about how you launched the single.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
You mean the launch party?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that was just like, again, it's one of them things, the label's like, oh, so, we're going to do a show for you in about 3 months. And I'm just like, yeah, no problem, that's 3 months away, and then it just goes, doesn't it? 12 weeks later, I'm like, oh my God, it's tomorrow. Yeah. So that was the gig I was just referring to. I was very, very nervous because it was like, they allowed a couple of fans to come. We had some flying in from Germany. It was amazing, and but it was literally like we had loads of people from Towie, and it's quite daunting for me to perform in front of people that I've seen on TV, it just freaks me out, Kerry Katona turned up, and she's so lovely.
She's a good girl, lovely girl.
Do you know what? I mean, I know she's had bad press and stuff in the past, but the girl's just turned it around, and she's just such a genuine, lovely person. I mean, I had a long conversation with her, because when she was going into the Kittens, whatever it was, 15 years ago, I'd got signed by the same management probably 10 years into their career. So I was like, oh my goodness, I've just been signed by a Tom and Kittens manager. So we had a bit of we knew all the same people. We got on really well. And now we're like WhatsApp mates. So, you know, she's and she's really supportive. She's always tweeting and Instagram and the stuff as soon as I put it up. So, but we had loads of people. I mean, the Towie lot came. I don't really know all of them, but they kind of came because it's one of them, isn't it? The PR company had got loads of press there, and I was in next day I was in OK magazine. My mum was like, "You're in OK," so I'm like, "Yes," you know, that's the type of thing your parents want to see, you know.
No, it's good, and it must be really good as well. Not just because you've got at the minute, a lot that I've read about you. I mean, the song's brilliant, so it's back. So whatever credit and applause and support you're getting is completely deserved because the song that you put out there is, for me, is brilliant.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
It is. It's genuinely is a really good song. But it must be so good to have the support from things like the magazine, from you know people off the TV, from your fans as well. You seem at the minute to be riding a bit of a crest of a wave, which is great for you.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, that's the most important thing for me because there's not really any other way of getting it out there. You know, the only way to do it is having great people like you getting me on in the station. You know, we broadcast it to all your lovely listeners. They think, well, I'll have a listen to that, and then, you know, hopefully they'll think like you do that it's a great track and they'll keep streaming the song. But I'm a firm believer in everyone helping everybody else out, and sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
But on this occasion, it seems to be. But I mean, this is like, you know, it's a 10-year process for me. So like, when I went to Liverpool a couple of days ago, I was on one of the big stations there, and it's just like, I was shocked that I'm there because it's like, you know, you think, well, it's took me a long time. It's not like a flash in the pan. And I'm really happy that slowly now I'm getting big stations like yourselves and people wanting to have me come in and have a little chat and play the song because that's the only way it's going to be successful, you know.
And bearing in mind what you've just said, see, obviously we play the songs, but and I love live music, love listening to lots of different genres and things. I could be wrong with this, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I look at the way that the music business is today, and surely it's got to be more difficult for artists because what I'm trying to say is streaming more of a hindrance these days than the days when I was used to go and buy music and into Our Price or HMV and pick up a CD. It must be so much more difficult now as someone that's ridiculously talented with great hair. Obviously.
Thank you very much.
To make that break to that next level.
You know, I think it's both. I think it's a terrible hindrance, but it's also a great help. I think back in the day, when, you know, like the likes of bands like a Tom and Kitten were selling 10 million albums, well, that was 10 million £10 notes. It was like a lot of them made a lot of money, which enabled them to then be on big tours and fund the big shows that, you know, they could go into the bigger audiences then. So, but I also think that, you know, you would have to physically go and buy it, whereas now you can pay £10 a month, you can stream, you can listen to any genre of music you want. And that was something we couldn't do, you know, 5, 7 or 8 years ago. So I think Spotify and all that's a great tool to have because now the music can go much further afield and people don't feel like, oh, I've got to pay for that or I've got to buy that or, you know, I can't even be bothered going down the local shop. Now they can just go on the phone and pay that £10 a month and they can listen to you, me, radio. It's just great. Audio books. So I think for the new generation of musicians, I think because they've never experienced that massive amount of money that used to be created, I don't really care about it because I've never experienced that. You see, I've always been of this digital kind of decade where my label, thank goodness they did it because I think it's like a bit old school as they've produced a physical CD and not, you know, most people it's this invisible thing you don't even see now. You just email it over and there's no physical CD. So very lucky for me, we've got a physical CD, but I actually really think Spotify is a great tool to have, but it isn't probably as lucrative as it used to be. But that's fine for me. I'm doing it because I love it, not for the money. But some people might do it for the money. But for me, I just love making music and travelling in the car down the country.
How did it all start? How did you get into it?
So from a very young age, you know, like my mum. She says that she's a singer. She's not that great, but I know mums are always great singers.
Send her this.
Yeah, she's going to kill me. But my uncle was a singer. He was a sailor, and he was one of in the band on the ships. Okay. Like, so when he retired, he would look after me because I had like 2 parents that worked. And he'd always have his guitar, you know. So I don't play. I do now, but I didn't then. Playing guitar, messing around, singing. So then when I went to school, I was pushed into musicals rather than acting because I'm a terrible actor. For all these TV people out there, I'm rubbish. Don't bother. God, don't contact me. I'm crap.
Towie next week.
Yes, Emmerdale or something mad like that. So I after that, I just loved it. I always loved it. And then leaving secondary school, I did a little diploma in music, and then I moved to London and kind of was in and out of bands for the past 10 years.
Right, I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you and abuse you now. Right?
Go on.
Right, so here we go then. So I've got a guitar at home.
Right.
Right, which is not a full-size guitar. It's one I got off eBay for about 20 quid.
Is it like a baby one?
No, it's not a baby one. I'm not that small. but it's smaller than full size. What's it called when it's smaller than full size?
3/4.
3/4 size. It's not genuinely. Is that what it's called?
So have you got like an Ed Sheeran size one? Like it's like a little. What make
it's not
is
a
it?
ukulele.
No, 6-string, but like imagine a third off that guitar.
Yeah. What make is it?
I've
eBay?
got one. I've got a Taylor one. It's very similar. It's a third smaller than that one. There.
Is it?
Yeah, and they're actually great. I was learning on that one.
Well, here's the thing, right? So I pick it up and just play the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
I don't hold anything.
Right.
I just go like that.
Oh, really?
I just play. Yeah. I just do that.
You don't play chords, so you just play like.
No, I don't know the chords.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that you show me the chords because I don't know the chords.
Okay.
Right. So I need to learn the chords.
Right.
Okay.
Right, so I mean, this is not great radio. Because
no,
you
it
can't
is.
see
It's
me.
great.
No, but this is for me just to self-indulge for a second.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it does when I try. It just hurts my fingers.
You have to do that for a couple of weeks till it gets hard on the tops of the fingers.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, it's like when you work out in the gym.
Oh,
It
yeah,
calluses.
I'm all right with that.
Look at the indentations in my fingers.
Oh, look at his fingers. Look at them fingers. Oh, look at that.
You end up where you can't feel them though.
Right, so if I was to play like 10, 15 seconds of a song, what would be the main chords that I'd need to learn?
Well, you'd need major chords sound like this. Quite happy.
Mine doesn't sound
Minor
like that.
chords sound like this.
Oh,
Quite sad.
look at that.
And then the third group is a dominant chord, sounds like this. Bluesy.
Oh,
Pretty
bluesy.
much the three families of chords, major, minor, and dominant.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the chords that exist.
But, you know...
There's lots of different keys, lots of different add-ons.
Yeah.
Imagine you've got a Christmas tree and you put baubles on a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You can add notes to the chord.
Yeah.
But it's basically 3 types of chord. Major, minor, and dominant.
Look at that. You've just had a guitar lesson.
That's it.
But, you know, if anything else fails, YouTube...
I've tried YouTube. I've
you
tried
can't-
that. Now, there was some Chinese guy trying to teach me how to play, and I just couldn't follow it.
There's
I couldn't do it.
there's one online one. I'll tell you later because you don't want to be promoting other. But there is a good one online which you pay about $20 a month for.
Yeah.
And that's great because you have it's loads of lessons, so you could learn like a C chord, and it's just like 30 minutes of the same thing. You know.
I'll try that.
Have a look. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
I'll try that. Right. So moving on then from my self-indulgent music lesson, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
So single's out now, and it's
It
on
is.
Spotify.
It is.
It's
and
on iTunes as well.
Yeah.
So what comes after the single? What are you planning next?
Well, we'll work this now until August time. I'm
Yep.
currently writing my second single now. We've kind of got it, but we're going to finish it. The next single will be out October, November, and then the album will follow in March of next year. And that's when I'll be ready for the festivals and the tours. Kind of missed out on the festivals this year because we were trying to get this song out. But I reckon my label will probably get me on a support tour with a cool artist towards the end of the year. I really like James Bay. I think James Arthur's great. I mean, James Bay is just... If I could get on him... I mean, another great artist who I really love is a guy called Rufus Wainwright. I don't know if you know who he is. He's amazing. But he's very theatrical. He's just a great singer-songwriter. Massive American... musical family, the Wainwright family. Google them.
Okay.
And so he's on tour. He's doing a European tour next year. I'd love to do that because that's he's massive in France, he's massive in Spain, he's massive in the UK. So it'd be like France, Spain, Italy, and somewhere else, Germany.
Yeah.
So I could do that next year with my album. That would be good. And I've met him a few times, so we kind of know each other.
Okay.
And he's just amazing, but he's a bit crazy. Like, he hangs around with Bette Midler and what was the one? What was the one that used to go out with David Guest? She's an old. Liza Minnelli.
Liza Minnelli.
So it's like him and
yeah.
you'd be in New York in a restaurant, it'd be like Bette Midler, him and Liza
my
Minnelli.
God.
That's the type of fame he's in within the New York
that's
society.
the crowd that you need to be in.
Absolutely. So that's where you can imagine he's like a bit of a showman. He's one of them, he's amazing. So if you're listening, Rufus, I'd love to support you next year.
We'll make sure that he gets it.
I'm going to send this to him.
Right, you're going to play a couple of songs for us in a second.
Yeah, you're going to play the single, are you?
What, me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes.
Cool.
I'm going to give it a go. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a cover of another song.
Okay.
Seeing you're going to play the single.
Right.
I thought that'd be a bit cool. Funk it up a bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Awesome.
And how can people keep in contact with you? Stalk you?
The easiest thing is just to go to Kris with a K, KrisJamesMusic.com. Everything's there. All my socials, Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. And then, as I say, the song is Kris James, Eyes Open, and you can get that on all the streaming services, including iTunes. And we are charting currently, so I'd love for next Friday. I don't think it'll happen this week, but you know, because you've got to sustain a top 40 position for a few days. It only went in yesterday and it fell out. So maybe next week I'll get an official top 40. That would be so good for my first single. Can you imagine?
Oh, mate, absolutely. Well, listen, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
The song for me is brilliant. I love it. So I'm going to play it very soon.
Fab.
Good luck. I hope if you get on the European tour, I hope that goes amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And we've got some big events coming up as well.
I'd
so
love to
we'll
be
get you in front of 25,000 people.
I love that.
And rock that out.
Thank you so much.